What's up, guys? It's Talha here again today, and today we took a class of our functional English, and we couldn't take the fundamentals of computer class because the teacher was busy in a meeting. So today, what we learned in the class, we learned about business letter. We learned about business letter and how to write a business letter, the fundamentals, the layout, how to write a business letter, and the 7 C's, the most important 7 C's in the which are in the body of our letter. So in today's video, we are going to discuss. So in today's video, we are going to discuss this letter, the 7 C's, and the layout of the business letter. So let's first discuss what is a letter. So what is a letter? A letter is basically a printed document or a handwritten document which is from a person or organization to a person or organization, and it conveys some idea, and it conveys some meaning, and it's always through a post, or it's always through a post. So letter is a from a person, or organization to vice versa. You can say to a person and organization. So that was about the letter. So right now we have two types of letter. One is formal letter, and one is informal letter. So the business letter which we are going to study today is our formal letter, because it's formal, it's always respectable. We have to obey certain formalities in writing the letter. And informal letter is that kind of letter which you write to your closed ones, or to your loved ones, where you don't have to follow certain formalities. You don't have to follow the conventions. You understand each other. So you have your own. So basically, in an informal letter, you have your own conventions, your personal, where you have your personal relationships, and you have your own conventions in that letter. So that is for your close ones, your friends, your best friends. So you don't have to follow all the conventions, or all the standards of letter writing. You can just write the letter any way you want. You have to follow the exact pattern, but not the but no, you don't have to care about the formalities inside the function body. For example, you don't have to be so formal, and you don't have to be much respectable in this aspect. So business letter is formal letter. So in a formal letter, you have standards. So you have a standard layout. You have a standard layout for your letter. You have alright. So yeah, I'm just going to draw a layout for a formal business letter. So you have, so right on the top, on the top left corner, you have sender's address. For example, if I am writing the letter, so I am the sender of the letter. So here it will be my address on the top. Then uh, below that there will be date. Then the receiver's address. The person I'm writing this letter to, his address will be down here. So receiver's address. Then there will be subject and salutation. I'm going to explain these terms once I'm done with the layout. Then they will be, this is the will be the main body, this will be the main body, and then there will be, the closing of the letter, or you can say that the closure, or the, yes, closure of the letter. So sender's address is self-explanatory. Date, receiver's address, subject. So subject is a one, or subject. A subject of the letter is a one or two word explanation, of the topic in hand. So it basically, it's they are a subject of the letter is a one or two words which summarizes your whole reason why you wrote the letter. A good subject might be helpful for the reader, to, if he is interested in reading your letter or not, so he doesn't have to go through all the letter to find out what this is about. A subject of one or two word subject can easily let him know that what is this letter about, or whether he should read the letter or no. You have salutations. So salutations are respectable words. For example, you start a letter by writing dear, respected, respected. Dear is mostly used when you're writing an informal letter where you don't care about the conventions and don't care about the formalities. But where in the business letter, in most of the cases, you don't know to whom you're writing the letter to. So you also have to use the convention of respected. So that way you're building trust, and you're giving the respect to your receiver. So the salutations are the respectable words which you use to start uh, your letter's main body. So, and then there's the main body of the letter. And once you're done with the main body, what you do is you close the letter. So in closing the letter, you use the convention yours sincerely, and then you have the signature, or in some letters you have in the signature, in some you have the name. So it's either, you can do your sign here, or you can write your name, just your name. For example, I say that I can write my name down here, so this will be the ending of the letter. Now, let's come towards the seven. So we haven't discussed what should be in them, and what precautions to take while writing the main body of the letter. So while writing the main body, you have to take care of the 7 C's of the communication while you're writing the main body of the letter. So the first one is your clarity. This what I'm about to discuss is going to be about the main body of the letter. The heading. This is called the heading, or the head of the letter. This is called the head of the letter. This is the main body, and this is, you can call, the foot of the letter, or you can say the closure of the letter. So this, what I'm about to discuss, is going to be about the main body. What things to take care of while writing the main body of the letter. So you have to take care of the clarity. Clarity means that you need to be clear on your thoughts. So clear on your thoughts. So that means that you have to be to the point. You don't have to talk irrelevant things. You just need to and also you don't have to explain that much, or you have to be to the point. And the best way to describe this is that you should know what you're saying. So you should know what you are saying. I think this sentence describes it pretty well. You have consideration. So second, you have consideration. So consideration means that you have to avoid selfishness here. So that means that you have to consider everybody's loss or profit, and all that kind of stuff. So you don't have to only think about yourself. You have to consider every aspect of the person's other person's behavior and other person's emotions and all kind of stuff. So for example, if you're writing a business letter, for example, to a company where you want to take part in their project as well, so you have to consider their profit as well. You don't have to be selfish and just consider your own benefits. You have to take into consideration the every aspect of your other party as well. You have courtesy. So here consideration means you have to avoid selfishness. So selfishness is a no. So you have yes, you have courtesy. So courtesy is a word which is emerged, or which is taken from the word court. So in the court, you always are really you have a really polite behavior, and you don't use bad language. You really respect the judge, and you really respect everyone. So that's an environment of respectable people in the court. So same way, courtesy, you have to use courtesy in your letter. You have to be really polite. You have to be really respectable in the letter, especially in the formal letter. So this is about the formal. Uh, these 7 C's are about the formal letters. So you have to be uh, really respectable, because you don't know the person, or in most cases you won't know who you're writing the letter to. So you have to be really polite and respectable in order to build the trust. And in order to proceed the conversation. So you have to be really polite and uh, respectable towards your receiver. You have correctness. So fourth one is your correctness. Correctness means that you have to be honest. So that is counted as your honesty. Honesty means that you have to provide, each and every information correct and honest. You cannot lie with the information, because if you do, you're going to be in trouble, because then you are going to fulfill everything you have said. So it's indirectly affecting you. So you have to be correct in everything you say. You have to be honest. And e-commerce and in businesses, you have to be honest, because uh, e-commerce and business is all based on trust, on the word trust. So that is why you have to be honest, and you have to provide correct information, and and whatever is asked from you, you have to provide it to the point, and you have to provide the correct information to build the trust of your customer or your receiver. Next, we have coherence. So number 7. No, no, not number 7. Number 5 is our coherence. So coherence means relatability, relatability, or connectivity of thoughts. So that means you have to be really relate. You have to really relate to what you're saying. So for example, if you're talking about something very important in the letter, and that is you're talking about what you wrote the letter for, and then you suddenly change the topic and you jump over to something else. So that will be like, that will destroy, or that will spoil whole letter, be just because you were not connective with your thoughts. So in what this coherence means, that you have to be connective with your thoughts, with your ideas, and your whole letter should be based on your subject. so you don't you don't slip through from what you have to say. So you have to be connective, and you have to relate everything to your subject. So what you want to talk about in a letter, you have to take care of the coherence and the connectivity of your thoughts. You have conciseness, or you can say precision. So you have to be accurate. You try at least try to be accurate and precise in whatever information you put in your letter, and in whatever way you express it. So try to be precise, and on the average, I can say that do some research, beforehand, and really try to be accurate and precise in your letter. You have to um, uh, check on some prerequisites, I would say. Prerequisites. If you're not precise, and if you are precise and accurate, it will provide a great it will create a great impression on the receiver as well. So at least try to be precise and accurate. So, and the last thing you have, correctness. So correctness is basically not related with the as the teacher told us today, that correctness is basically not related with the writing part. So correctness is mostly used in presentations. So in presentations, instead of writing everything down, you convert all of that writing into graphs or pie charts or tables. So basically what this word came from, so this word expresses the solidness of the information. So if you so there's a difference. So if you write everything down, and in on the other hand, if you present that the very same thing in the form of graphs or pie charts, so what would be more impressing, and what illustration would be more uh, would be the one to learn more from? There will obviously be the graphs, because most people are visual learners, so they'll be more attentive towards the graphs or pie charts, and they'll get bored if you have written everything down. Nobody is really that good at reading. So if you convert your information into graphs and pie charts or tables, so that will be more appropriate, and that this is basically used in presentation, so you guys don't have to worry in the writing part. So you can skip this one, but all of the other six C's of the communication, you have to take care of that when you're writing a letter. There are different layouts of letters. So for example, is you have fully blocked layout. You have semi block layouts, and you have unblocked, or you can say the the informal one. So you have unblocked. Yeah, I think that's that unblocked layout. Also, there's a for punctuations. No, I think punctuations is the most important part of a letter. So there are two ways to write the letter. Either you have to completely omit the punctuations from a letter, from the heading and from the foot of the letter, or you have to use punctuations precisely or accurately in the heading and in the foot of the letter. So what I recommend is that you can just omit the punctuations, because that's the pain in the ass to remember and to precisely put each and every punctuations where it belongs. So I think omitting the punctuations would make it easy for you to write the heading and to write the foot of the letter. And I think we are done. So thank you guys. I hope that helped you, and you also got to revise what we studied at the university. Thank you very much.